Hello everyone, thank you for coming to my channel. This is Diane at Pretty Pink Cottage. I am very happy to be able to share with you today these completed journals. I made them with a digital kit from Ephemera's Garden called Ephemera's Heartsong. And they had a lot of fun images in them, and well, we're going to talk about them. And these are in my shop when you see the video. Along with these, because I kept them simple for me, they are decorated quite a bit, but they were relatively simple, and there's lots of space for you to play with. So I'm including a nice bundle, and it will come in this cellophane bag with this giant hot pink paper clip. So rather than go into that and make a lot of noise, I just left one of them out so I could just show you what's in that little bundle of ephemera. There are some of the notepad papers. This one is 3 pieces, it's perforated. This one's not perforated, but you could cut it. And a little piece of the tiny music paper. Some of the scrapbook paper scraps in various sizes. And I used some of the scraps and punched some tabs for you. Some of them are double-sided. And there is a florist hang tag, a flower seed packet, and these things are different in each of the kits. The paper scraps are, they're from the same papers, because I use these papers in the journals, but they're just scraps that I divided up. I think there should be 2 of each of these tabs in here. There's a flashcard and a purple doily. This little note paper. Yeah, here's the other tab. A couple of merchandise tags and some tickets. There's your giant paper clip. Some Japanese stamps. I used a couple of them in the journal. And some digital postage stamps. This is just a scrap of the digital. A paint chip. More digital paper scraps. Paper scraps. And, whoops, I dropped an arrow. These little die cuts that I've had in my stash. Thought I'd share some. I thought they would be fun to use. And a digital flower. So that's a lot of stuff you can play with, and then add your own things. I added the Tim Holtz chipboard word phrases to the tops, to the front, and I peeled most of the chipboard off so that they're not so thick, and just glued them down. I Mod Podged the images to the front and the back, and I used a piece of patchwork fabric for the spine. I had several options in my video from the other day, and when I closed the video, you didn't know which option I was going to choose for the spine fabric. And so far today in the comments, 2 of you said that the pillowcase would be great. Nobody else said anything about which one they would choose. So I didn't choose the pillowcase. I'm sorry. But that would have been a good option. Now I'm second guessing my choice, but I really do like this. And then I made a dangle with colorful beads. This is a very colorful kit, as you will see. We're going to look at Collect Beautiful Moments first. This one, they are slightly different in size. The papers are all the same size. I'm looking for a ruler, but my covers are, the other one is a little bit bigger. So this cover is about 5.5 by 8 3/4. I made a new spine, and I have 3 signatures sewn in with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, and I covered the end paper with scrapbook paper. And I've clipped a lot of things in that you can just add them to your little baggie of ephemera to play with if you want to. And then, you know, use them as you work in the journal. But these are both digital items from the kit. There are 2 kits in here. One is Ephemera's Heartsong, and the other is a little 2-page ephemera kit that you can get to go with it. And it's called Doodle Fairy because it's like a art journal doodle doll and flowers and stuff. I turned this scrapbook paper scrap into a sort of a library pocket. I just folded it up and glued it. Very simple. And cut a paint chip into a tag shape. You can glue some paper to the back. I included those larger sheet notebook papers, tablet papers, so that you can glue them to the backs of things like, I'll show you one when we get to it. All right, so this, if the paper clips are at the top of the page and they're just plain, I added a fabric strip to the top. This is a little German children's card. I found that at the flea market. And this is a page from a teacher's book for teaching students how to write in cursive. An envelope from the kit. There's nothing inside that. I put a heart-shaped paper clip on it and a little bingo sheet. You can cut that up and use it in collages throughout the book or just right on the back. So you can see there's a lot of bright colors in this book, in the digital kit. And this was just plain white on the back, so I glued a piece of vintage embroidery transfer paper to the back. That's a vintage ledger. These little embellishments like that are from the kit. This is a page from a Tiffany catalog. A vintage, it's either Italian or French dictionary. And I added some dyed paper that you can write on. This is a teacher's planner book, and it had different colors on these different chart pages, and I thought it was such a fun book. I got that at a flea market or a thrift store or something. This is just scrapbook paper that I added. And then I had this children's book page, like a little coloring activity book, how to draw these figures. And I thought it was really cute. And it's a rest for the eyes from all the colors. I used a lot of neutral papers to kind of give your eyes a break. This is a scrapbook cardstock page that it's in the center of the signature, so I just glued it together after I sewed the signature in. These are both pieces from the digital. So inside the pocket, I just tucked this little card. I had to fold that one flap in so it would fit, and then a purple postcard or index card. So you have lots of space to write in this book. So this is what I meant about using some of those papers that I included. This is the back of one of the scrapbook papers. It's that one. And you could definitely write on that. So I glued that there to give you a space to write. And on the back of this page, I stenciled. You can write over that stenciling. And here, glue something down, make a pocket. You can put a tag in, or glue some photos or keepsakes. Lots of possibilities. Here's one of the doodle fairies and a paint chip. And I just did a collage on a scrap of scrapbook paper to make that pocket. This is a guest check from some other digital that I had in my stash, and some game money. This piece is from this kit, and this is something else that I had printed. They're both digitals. I did no sewing and very little, if any, inking in here. This is from a children's book. This is the second signature. And this is a children's book called Marshmallow, I believe. That's the name of that rabbit. His name is Marshmallow. There's a chocolate bunny that he's looking at. Here I have paper clipped a die cut top note shape from the miniature music paper and some tickets. And this is from the scrapbook paper. It says dance as if no one was looking. And it's a little side pocket, and I included this card that is dyed, and you could glue some of the elements that I included in that bundle or whatever you want, or just write on it. And a little pocket here, little envelope that came with the kit, and it has two oh dear, did they get glued in? Oh, let me see. It's got two journaling cards in there. I'm going to have to work on that to get those cards out. And there's a beet seed packet. I did this in a video where I embossed that flower from a Diane Reedley stamp set. And this is a Tim Holtz stamp set with the phrases, collect beautiful moments. Some more embroidery transfer. This is from a botanical book. And I made a little collaged tuck spot there with different elements. Someone had created some of these tag bases for me and sent them in a Happy Mail. I just added those elements to the top and cut out one of the doodle fairies and tucked her in, so you can add her wherever you like. Green ledger paper and a house plan page. This is a envelope that I made out of a pattern instruction sheet for doll clothes, like vintage doll clothes, vintage style, and a pink index card. And this, I don't know what this is called, but I don't know, it's got something to do with insurance or something, but it's a ledger card you can write on. This is a vellum flower and a butterfly from the kit. There's another embossed piece, and it says, just one life. These are Russian stamps that were glued to the vinyl or plastic packaging from a journal that I ordered from Siberia, June's Journals. So I just cut that out of the bag and backed it onto some paper that you can write on. And here is a Japanese stamp, postage stamp, and Candyland game card. It's another flash card. Oops, goes like that. A paint chip. I stamped those pieces and cut them out, glued them on. And a card from the kit. Isn't he cute? He's with the chocolate bunny there. This is a piece of vellum, and I glued it to the pink striped paper so you can see the pink stripes through the vellum. I think it looks cute. And there's a bridge score sheet folded up inside this pocket, and a Mother Goose playing card. Here we have a soda label and some more play money, and I just punched that out of some scrapbook paper, and this is a digital ticket from this kit. Children's book page. This is what I was looking for. So this side you can write on, and this side has text on it for the teacher, and I would just glue a paper that I could write on. So one of those sheets that I put in your packet, maybe, or whatever you want. Glue some photographs there if you want to. Here's another drink label, and just a card that I cut from some cardstock that you can write on. Here's a page from an atlas, a little butterfly from the kit you can use in the journal somewhere. There's a little bag. These are stamps, and I had them all glued to this grid paper, and I just glued that to a card, and you can write on the back. And of course make notes on those tickets. And this is a good place to embellish with other elements that you have or things I put in that packet. This is wrapping paper, and I had said in a video, well, there's one video that I couldn't upload, so maybe I said it in that video, but this is kind of waxy, so I don't know if you'd be able to write on it, and I intended to glue or sew something to the back, but I didn't, because I just wanted these to be simple journals, and they ended up taking more time than I thought they would. So do what you want to with that. You could even try painting on it. I don't know if the paint would adhere to it. I just glued that fairy there. And inside this pocket, it's another one of those pages that I formed a pocket out of, is a protractor. And you're supposed to take this off. It's coming off, and then you could use it. Or just glue it in as a pocket somewhere. I think that would be really fun. And in this side of the bag are 2 ombre index cards. They're white on the back. And this is from an antique magazine. I glued it to some cardstock, and I just tucked some more of the embroidery transfer pieces in there. And this has a sticky note dress that you could use for journaling, and I punched some shapes out of some colorful scrapbook paper scraps you can use. There's another heart-shaped paper clip there. And then in this pocket, I have a sheet of that miniature music, another paper doll, and some digital office supplies. These pencils you could cut apart, cut that white part out and have 2 separate pencils. I just left them together for you. And then on the back cover, I made a pocket with a leftover page of the digital and stamped "Full of Wonder" on there, and I inserted a guest check and this tag that I had in my stash, which had been colored with alcohol inks, and this from the Diane Reevely stamp set. I embossed it with black embossing powder, and you could fill that in with color, and it'd be really fun to use watercolors because the embossing powder would resist any color. You could paint right over it and it would resist it, and it would also keep your color from bleeding into the next section. So I would have fun playing with that. So this one is called Collect Beautiful Moments. This one is Dwell in Possibility, and it has the charm also, the dangle. And I'll go through this one a little more quickly. Oh, I need to add a topper to that other one. Yeah, there's nothing in that. Another German card right there. Another Tiffany page. This one was colored. Same cards. This is a digital shipping tag. Play money. There's Marshmallow. See if I can get him out of this one. Yep, that's what's in the other one, if I can get them out. And this one has a Snapdragon envelope. I had glued these pockets closed last night and left the inserts out. So they didn't get stuck like those other cards did. This is from the Japanese stamps. So this right here is the stamp. It has a kind of almost like a fabric texture to it. But this is the stamp, but it came on this full sheet. It says Year of the Dog. And I've had those for quite a long time. And now I thought this was a perfect place to use them. And this one has this piece that I had made a while ago. It's a vintage photo of a sailor and his girl, and it's not in great condition. It was torn, and you can see where it was bent, but I sewed it to this paper, and I added a digital guest check there. So you can write on this, and this little hand that I added to it helps hold that closed. And there is a pink soft drink label there. And this one was another card I had in my stash. I had collaged this, Mod Podged this napkin to white cardstock. And another soda label. And this one has stencils. You see it's alphabet stencils and little punctuation down there. So you could punch those out and, you know, use it as a stencil or use it as a pocket. Those are the ombre index cards. There's a lot going on in here. And so I did more than I intended to, which is why it took longer than I thought it would. There's another little dress you can write on and some more punched shapes. And I guess I have to put more office supplies in here. I think I have more printed. And back here we have a guest check again and another colored tag. This one was colored with Distress ink or Distress oxide that I wet and then just rubbed that down in it. The alcohol ink goes all the way through, so the other one I know was alcohol ink. And another one of those pieces to play with. I did put my signature on the back of these tags. So I think these are really fun. They're different, and it was really fun to just play with these, and then you get the whole packet of more stuff to play with. So I hope you like these. These are in my shop right now. This one measures 5 7/8 by 9 1/4. So it's just a little bit wider and a little bit taller. Thank you so much for watching, and come along and see what I do next in my pretty pink cottage. It's always fun here. Have a creative day. Bye-bye.